Top 10 of the deadliest bridge collapses.
Top 10 of the deadliest bridge collapses. Here are 10 of the deadliest bridge collapses in history. 1. The Tay Bridge disaster 1879, the collapse of the Tay Bridge in Scotland. During a storm resulted in the death of approximately 75 people. The bridge's design and construction were found to be inadequate for the severe weather conditions. 2. The Quebec Bridge collapse 1907, during its construction. The Quebec Bridge in Canada collapsed twice, resulting in a total of 88 deaths. Flaws in the bridge's design and insufficient safety measures were identified as contributing factors. 3. The Narrows Bridge collapse 1940, the Tacoma Narrows Bridge in Washington, USA. Famously known as Galloping Gertie, collapsed just a few months after its completion. The collapse claimed the lives of 3 people and was attributed to aerodynamic forces that caused destructive oscillations. 4. The Sunshine Skyway Bridge collapse 1980, the collapse of the Sunshine Skyway Bridge in Florida, USA, occurred when a cargo ship collided with one of the bridge's support columns during a severe storm, causing a section of the bridge to collapse. The incident resulted in the deaths of 35 people. 5. The Alcantara Bridge collapse 1979, the collapse of the Alcantara Bridge in Portugal during a storm caused the deaths of 59 people. The bridge's design and inadequate maintenance were identified as contributing factors. 6. The Silver Bridge collapse 1967, the collapse of the Silver Bridge, connecting West Virginia and Ohio in the USA, resulted in the deaths of 46 people. The collapse was attributed to a failure in one of the suspension bridge's I-bar chains. 7. The I-35 Mississippi River Bridge collapse 2007, the collapse of the I-35 bridge in Minneapolis, USA, during rush hour resulted in the deaths of 13 people. The bridge's design flaws and insufficient maintenance were identified as contributing factors. 8. The Kolkata Bridge collapse 2016, the collapse of an under-construction flyover in Kolkata, India, resulted in the deaths of 26 people. Poor construction practices and the use of substandard materials were identified as factors contributing to the collapse. 9. The Hyatt Regency Walkway collapse 1981, although not a bridge collapse. The collapse of walkways within the Hyatt Regency Hotel in Kansas City, USA, resulted in the deaths of 114 people. Design flaws in the walkway supports were identified as the cause of the collapse. 10. The Sampoong Department Store collapse 1995 in Seoul, South Korea. The collapse of the Sampoong Department Store claimed the lives of 500 people. The collapse was caused by structural flaws resulting from unauthorized modifications to the building's design. These bridge collapses serve as reminders of the importance of proper design, construction, and maintenance practices to ensure the safety and integrity of such structures.